and Deacon McLean, nobody wants to disagree or to stand up for righteousness and say, for God I will live, and for God I will. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Yeah, see, nobody wants to take that stand. They will take an easy laugh, so nobody won't be mad with them. Nobody will frown at them versus taking a hard right. But I've stopped while on my way to heaven to tell you that if you want more in 24, God is looking for a servant that would stand for righteousness, a servant that will stand for holiness, a servant that will stand and give him unprecedented praise. Now, this pericope, elder, it didn't end like I wanted it to end. You know, sometimes I be reading and Dr. Holiday, I want this thing to go a certain way, but it didn't go that way. You would think that Luke was going to reprimand the shrewd servant for the business, the uncanny and the wicked business that he had conducted. But if you look closer at the text, you will see that he commended him for doing that crooked business. And so he just threw all the commentators into a frenzy. Now they want to go to Sunday school to argue about this, what has come about. But one commentator lists the fact that this manager may have limited his liability by canceling half of the debt. Perhaps he was going to get a commission, elder salesman, on that. And so now he has somewhat stopped the bleeding. There are still consequences, but he has stopped the bleeding. And so Luke turns here and he tells us that we ought to have the kind of camaraderie that this manager has in forgiving debts. He says that brothers and sisters of the light, they can't get along like this. But those that are walking in the dark, they will help one another. I don't know if you ever seen winos, but I've seen winos and they were not even COVID sensitive. They would all drink out of the same bottle. But just in another Sunday, elders are already circulating the word. We're gonna have a foot washing service right here, and I'm gonna see how many folk gonna say, I don't want my feet washed. I don't want to do that. I want but I want you to go back to the scripture and understand that we're doing that which is biblical. And listen, if your feet are not clean, I'm not washing them for them to be clean. I'm washing them for you to be sanctified and in the right standing with God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Paul had told them early on that when they were cutting up at the communion table, that if a man was hungry, he ought to eat at home and not come to the communion table. And so if your feet is dirty, wash them at home. I'm trying to close here. But if we are looking for more, Sister Hammond, there has to be a transformation. See, that has to be a complete change in what we are doing. You know, if we are looking for more, especially if we want that thing, and you know what that thing is, to improve. There has to be a transformation. You've got to do something different. And then I want to draw a connection here. There is a connection between faithful, very little, and very much. See, if you've been faithful over a little, good chance that till you get promoted, you'll be faithful over much. I'm talking to somebody, but if you have told a little lie, you've been dishonest. Now, when the pastor calls you, what I try to do, Elder Ray, I try to put them in a position where they won't have to lie to me. You see what I'm saying? Because some folk who have been faithful over a little lie, they can tell a little one or a big one and never blink their eye. Yeah, and so there has to be a transformation. Listen, you got to stop yourself and hold yourself accountable here. You've got to be able to see when you are getting distracted and you're about to go down the path that you went down before. Y'all know that we were dealing with that B10 button that we were pulling in the vending machine, and every time we got a honey bun. Well, I was in the barber shop with Kylie yesterday, and he's a G-Pod. Can I just go over to the vending machine and view for 20 seconds? And I said, you have my permission. And so he goes over and he views, and he comes back and he says, G-Pod, can I get a V09 and a V17? And so a little over my head, because it's been a long time since I looked in the vending machine. And so I says, well, if you be a good boy and you get your hair cut, we'll see about what you can get. And so I get to the vending machine, and you know, the vending machine doesn't change. I didn't have no change because I'm living in 20 and 21, only carrying a card. And I definitely did not want to swipe my card in that barbershop. But I swiped it, and the V09 was a Rice Krispie treat, and I believe the V17 was a large can of Mountain Dew. So I said, listen, you can get the V09, but your mama gonna have a hissy fit if you come back with the Mountain Dew. And so it's just a whole different dynamic, and reason why I'm saying that is that, you know, after pandemic we had to pivot, we had to shift, because there were new needs and there were new aspirations and new expectations. Now folk are working from home, and listen, you've got to decide, Dr. Elliott, whether you're going to be on YouTube on Sunday afternoon, you know, for the foot washing service, because folk really wanting to get all the service on the YouTube and never have to come to the sanctuary. They have forgotten the assembly of the saints coming together. I've stopped to tell you that there's a blessing when we come together. When the Spirit of the living Lord falls down on us, there is a tremendous, chains are broken, shackles are loose. Someone will say, you don't know like I know what the Lord had done for me. I'm closing right here, but I got one more question for you. Y'all know I carry 3 points with me. I got a buddy say that I have 5, but I got 3. This final point, you can write it or you can just remember. But I know it's to us. I know it's to us. It's to every person under the sound of my voice. This final point, can God trust you with money? See, I don't use the M word. Can he trust you with money? You can't trust the cocaine addict with cocaine. You can't trust the alcohol with the bar. You can't trust the binge eater at Golden Corral when they come out and they turn over all of that fried chicken. It just puts you in a place where you don't want to be. But can God, you want more in 24, but can God trust you with money? I wish I could take money out of the equation, but you can't do much without money. Can he trust you? Huh? The 11th verse says, so if you've been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own? No servant can serve 2 masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted, y'all, to one and despise the other. And see, this is what Luke was talking about when he said, you cannot serve both God and money. Our God is over us. He owns cattle on 1,000 hills. Every resource belongs to him. You can ask what you will, and it will be done. But can he, listen, as you're resting on your feet, can he trust you? Can he trust you? Because I see him in this moment. And as sure as you have asked him, anybody asked him for something? I'm just trying to see, I got an expectation. I wouldn't ask him, but I got some things that I hadn't been able to do yet. And I'm going to him, Deacon McLean, and I'm just pointing out a few things. It's not bling that I'm approaching him with, but as Elder often says, I'm putting him in remembrance of his word. You said, yeah. You said, and so that's the mode that I'm going to him with. But the more that I'm asking him for, it's going to win souls for the kingdom. Yeah. It's going to make a more excellent and a perfect way. It is going to cause the Christian home, Christian church to pivot. You know, in pandemic, we had to go into some places. We had to get on some platforms. We had to change our way of doing business. And I'm just trying to see if I got anybody that wants to be a change agent. You know, I got anybody here that listen will say, listen, let me be off the sidewalk. I'm just wondering if I have anybody here that will say, Lord, listen, use me. I'll turn East Raleigh upside down. I'll feed the homeless. I'll clothe the naked. If you use me, listen, bring me off of Fortune 500. Listen, X me out of the corporate environment and to make me a ambassador. I'll walk in your wheel. I'll walk in your way. If there are folk here that's serious about more, I just want you to step in the aisle. I want you just to step right in the aisle. If you don't play now. If you serious about more, I want you to step in the aisle. Yeah, that they are. That they are. Yeah, step right there in the aisle. I'm going to pray before we go to the invitation. Yeah. Serious about more. Serious about more. Not satisfied. But serious about more. That's right, Elder. That's right. Y'all know what to do. Yeah. Serious about more. Serious about more. Going to God and saying that, listen, I've done what you commanded me to do. And now I'm standing in your presence.